to the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, welcoming the Flat Earth community to 2017. Will this be the year of the tipping point? I think it has more than enough potential. What do you think? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at marksargent.com, enclosedworld.com, or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you must be blind or using a really horrible browser, because it is trending. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. Quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery is from Nikola Tesla. Earth is a realm. It is not a planet. It is not an object. Therefore, it has no edge. Earth would be more easily defined as a system environment. Earth is also a machine. It is a Tesla coil. The sun and moon are powered wirelessly with the electromagnetic field, otherwise known as the ether. This field also suspends the celestial spheres with electromagnetic levitation. Electromag levitation disproves gravity because the only force you need to counter is the electromagnetic force, not gravity. The stars are attached to the firmament. And yes, that was from Nikola Tesla. Phone number to call in tonight is 720-897-6111. That phone number again is 720-897-6111. Operators are standing by, and by that I mean me. You're not going to get screened through some other person, so if you're going to call, try to be nice, because remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Looking for subject matter experts, of course. So let's run down the list real quick of people who have called in, unsolicited, by the way, and testified that the Earth is not what you think it is. United States Navy missile instructor, United States Air Force navigator, a Marine Corps sniper instructor, a Navy submarine chief, an Army artillery radar operator, an Australian intelligence officer, an American flight instructor, an industrial engineer specializing in valves and seals, a career surveyor of 32 years, international shipping expert, corporate travel agent, air traffic controller, U.S. Army master gunner, aviation and ground training combat expert, USDA surveyor, 32nd degree Mason, an etheric science researcher, a commercial airline captain, and a merchant marine. If you would like to reinforce what any of these fine people have said regarding the flat earth theory, or you would like to try to refute it, want to go after it, please contact me at msargent23@comcast.net, or you can call me and leave a message at 720-897-6111. Okay, mailbag carelessly left on my desk by my secretary. Let's just get right into it while we are waiting for calls. Let's see how many we can get through. Last week, we made a record low of 3 emails. So hopefully we can get through a few more, but if not, that's okay, because if I don't read your email that you send to me on this show, I will do a separate email show where I don't take any calls and I just read and try to address as many emails as I can. Jim writes, please to only read my first name. When are you going to cover the more recent developments in flat Earth regarding the Morgile on Mercury and Venus, the moon not being able to catch up with Earth's orbit, cannons shot straight into the air, cannon shot not falling dozens of feet away but right next to the cannon, and regarding Mythbusters, Earth's rotation should cause it all to fall dozens of feet away. And the first phone call is coming in from 845 area code. Let's start it off. You are on live with Strange World. Where are you? Who are you? What are we talking about?
Hey, Mark. It's Mark.
Wow, you're early. What's going on?
You know what? I wasn't gonna, but I wanted to be the first caller in 2017.
Oh, that's awfully nice.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what I'm going to do? Have a call. It was too funny. I was trying to find my phone.
That's awesome, man. Well, great. So what's on your mind? Any reflections on 2016 looking into 2017?
Yeah, I thought, it's funny because I was looking back at 2015, and it seemed like 16 got off to a rocky start with, the whole emotional stuff going on and Tiger Dan and all the dumb stuff.
Right.
And this year we're going to get past that in the sense that people are going to realize, hey, you know what? Everybody's got their own concept, their own ideas. Go with it.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Yeah.
We're outside. Let's just push. The people need to open their eyes. How about that?
Yeah.
And I think that's what
I agree, and I've said this in a bunch of interviews anyway, which is because people say, well, aren't you mad at this person or this person for going down, taking the flat Earth in a certain direction? I said no, because that's the best part about this whole community is that everybody's got their own little take on it, but everybody agrees that it's not a globe. So yeah, everyone's running down the battlefield. If you can imagine, a line of troops right down the battlefield, everybody's got dressed differently. They've got their own weapons, but they've all pretty much got the same opponent on the other side, which is the globe. And, that's what fuels each other. And some people get on board with, their groups form. But again, it's still, it's loosely unified, but it's still unified.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I feel that it's definitely going that way, that there's a lot less of at least between the people, the flat earthers that are out there. It seems like there's less of personal attack type stuff that, hey, you know what, they're their own person, whatever. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's still going to be a few out there. And I've stated that the big reason for that is because we don't have an official champion on the other side, an enemy that's willing, because it's kind of like the Reagan speech. We would all just we would all forget our little squabbles if we had somebody. The closest person we've had so far is Joe Rogan. He did a dozen shows against flat Earth, but still, I'm waiting for some scientist to put his neck on the line, or some B or C list celeb to come out there and just really go at it. But not yet. Still waiting.
Yeah, I would love to just hear an accredited scientist, not even famous.
Yeah.
Just somebody who's willing to put their money where their mouth is and their credentials where their mouth is.
Yeah.
And say, hey, look, I'll talk to you about this legitimately.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to the Morgile Art Bell interview.
Yeah.
They're such bastards when it comes to certain things. Like the very next night, they had on time travelers, these guys calling and saying they were time travelers. And not that I'm laughing at them, but you give them, all the respect in the world, but you can't give somebody who might be right, the opportunity to talk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I stated that in my first 843 area code. I will pick you up in just a minute. I stated that in my very first Flat Earth Clue, which is that's how I knew it was a great great trick. It was a great con, is in that every other conspiracy laughed at this conspiracy. Every other one. And it didn't matter how far out there it was. Time travel, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot having Elvis's baby. You take your pick. None of those would generate the polarization that this one does. So that's why I am, I'm still convinced, and I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to take this thing all the way to the end.
Absolutely. I got my plate.
Yeah, I saw that. You probably saw that on the new thing I did.
No, I didn't watch it yet.
It's out there. So check it out. And because the plate is named the same, I named the pick the same as the others. I can replace it in just about everything else I do, and I can just replace your the placeholder screenshot with the actual plate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyway.
Hey, I was watching Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh Lord.
I gotta make him watch old movies. He has to, because you can't just forget about them. Some of them are classics.
Yeah, some of them are.
Hey, it was weird. At the very end, they fly the helicopter as they're leaving around the sun. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool little video, little clip.
I should steal that one. I should steal that one.
Yeah, it was the very end scene, flying away. They go around the backside of the sun.
Nice.
Like, oh,
all right. I'm going to see if I can find that on YouTube and watch it. That'll be fun.
And I'll shut off after this. I had a quick another Mendelta. Sinbad, the actor?
Yeah, otherwise known as Neil deGrasse Tyson's brother. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. His doppelganger, correct.
Yeah.
My friend, New Year's Eve, he goes, dude, did you hear this? Do you remember Sinbad doing a movie where he was a genie? And I was like, I think so.
Yeah.
I could have sworn And they're like, no, he was never in any movie. He says he wasn't in any movie as a genie or played a genie. Yeah, it was interesting that even because my friend, he's not a conspiracy guy. He's a regular guy.
Yeah.
And he's hearing about this stuff.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Wow. Nice. All right, man. Well, I got to pick up some other stuff and keep going, but thank you for being the first call of 2017.
Yeah, I wanted it to be. And I'm still trying to find that damn Little House on the Prairie episode. I can't believe it was so many years. I'm in Florida. There are episodes. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. That was a long-running show.
Forwarding through them. Yeah. Trying to find, because there was a scene where they're like behind the building, they're talking about it. The guy's preaching science, or the lady's trying to teach him science, and he's like, absolutely not. There's this flat covered by the firmament, and he says that. I was like, no way.
Anybody out there knows what Little House on the Prairie episode that is, please find it for us so that we don't have to skim through all how many seasons of that show.
Yeah.
What's going on? I couldn't take it. I'm sorry. It's that show is way too happy and fluffy for me.
I was kind of hoping the Peanut Gallery would have had it already. But
well, not yet. They don't. But that's okay. Anyway, I got to run, man. But hey, you have a good rest of your evening, and welcome to 2017.
Thank you. Right. And you have to keep up the good work, and I'll keep in touch.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yep. All right, let's finish this email real quick so we can at least say we got through one email. Let's see. Also, rainbows and polarization only possible with a mirror-like surface, and a shortwave radio only works because it bounces off a solid surface like a dome. A dome could actually be mapped by high-powered radar, like they use ground-penetrating radar to find hidden or buried objects. Thanks, Jim. And regarding your first question, why I'm not covering all the recent developments of Flat Earth, because a lot of other people are. There's no shortage of people that are just combing all the news organizations, all media outlets for anything that's Flat Earth related. Remember, most of the time I hear about second or third hand. I have in my inbox in my email, I got a whole bunch of people that'll send me things that say, hey, did you catch this? It's like, what are you talking about? It was only released like 25 minutes ago. So when it comes to all those things you mentioned before, yes, I know full well. And remember, I talked to a bunch of military guys, including artillery, that talked about shooting cannons into the air and how they're not accounting for the Coriolis effect, and missiles and rifles, and take your pick. So I'm not trying to ignore these things, but look, if Morgoth wants to talk about it, or Jaren, or just take your pick. Lots of people cover stuff, but I will do what I can. So don't worry. Next email is from Christopher. Hey, Mark, need some help. I live in Japan near Tokyo. Military, and I have some family coming to visit me from the States. They will be flying out of San Francisco. I'm not sure what my family thinks of Flat Earth or any other conspiracies, though my wife denies any and said it was stupid. But for me, I'm widely open and have been following you and other greats on the subject. Anyways, some family came from the States to visit me before, and I too have traveled to and from, but I wasn't awake then. How can I ask my family of doing a little experiment in the plane to justify how planes fly on a flat Earth? I already looked at Google and some other plane flight websites, and they have a curved up path. I know that actually doesn't happen. Are there any sites that show plane flights on a flat Earth? No, they're not. Not like that. You're going to have to, I mean, all the best you can hope for is take an AE map and just overlay the flight route and kind of correct for the curve. Also, I noticed looking at their itinerary, the flight distance is the same, 160 miles to and from. Now, the travel time is different. From San Fran to Tokyo is 11 hours, 15 minutes, and from Tokyo to San Fran is 9 hours, 20 minutes. How can I do the math right to show it's the same? I know the time zones, and Japan is almost a day ahead. What is the true debate? Argument to debunk the spin of the globe in a plane flight standpoint. All right, a couple things. First off, when it comes east to west and west east, when you're going, and this happens inside the States, it's much more exaggerated, though, if you're going overseas. So Tokyo to San Fran is always going to be faster because you're going with jet streams. So, because remember, the jet stream is traveling, less than 150 miles an hour, but it's a headwind. So you're going against it when you're going east to west, but you're going with it when you're going west to east. So that's why plane flights, even in the United States, are quicker. When you're like, if I'm going from Seattle to Florida, it's going to be quicker because I've got a tailwind. When you're going against it, you get a little bit of a headwind, and that gets exaggerated. But what you want to test for your family to do, and you could do it very simply. Give them a bubble level. That's the easiest one to take with them, or an app on their phone that shows the level of the plane. Because the flat Earth community believes, and I've seen the test, we've got some videos on this already online, where when you get up to cruising altitude, the plane travels perfectly level. And it shouldn't, because if you're accounting for the curvature of the Earth, that plane should start nosing down every once in a while, especially if you're doing 500, 600 miles an hour. Because if you're doing 8 inches per mile squared, you're going thousands of feet. But an app should show something. If you should show some sort of dip. And look, I've done business travel a lot, mostly in the United States, but west to east, east to west, and you can tell. Good business travelers can tell almost immediately if there's any altitude drop or velocity change. Not just the sounds of the engine, you can feel it. And, when they get up to cruising altitude, nothing moves. It's perfectly flat the last time I checked. So have them grab an app and see if they can do sort of like an app on their phone that will tell them what's level, and see if it deviates. Have them watch it every once in a while, see if it blinks. That's what I would use. So got some more time to the break. Let's get on to our next email. This one's from Richard. Richard writes, "Hey, Mark, I am writing you because I have listened to a lot of your interviews, and I believe you are leaving out an important detail. You talk about the Van Allen belt discovery and the Antarctic Treaty, but you left out the theory of the Dyson sphere. The reason I think it's relevant is because it came out about a year later. That being said, I believe the government, doing its due diligence, told certain scientists what was going on, and this was what they came up with. As you often say, science hates question marks. Hope this makes sense to you." We got another call. Let's add him in. You are on live with Strange World. Who are you? What do you want?
Hey, Mark, this is Wes Days. Flat Earth News.
Hey, Wes, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah. Hey, how was your New Year?
How's my New Year?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. I didn't actually do much. I mean, I haven't really done much since 2000.
That's why there was that big pause. Like, dude, I didn't do anything. I just sat home in my underwear and watched TV.
Yeah, I mean, I understood when the fireworks went off and all that, but 2017 just didn't. It doesn't have much of a significance. It's not a cool round number or anything like that. But I do think it's going to be a big year, at least for Flat Earth, if 2016 was any indicator. So, but I'm up here in.
I hear you.
I'm up here in Victoria, Canada, and no, I didn't go out and
Oh, in Canada, you're visiting your girlfriend. Oh, sweet.
Yes. But
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, what I was this kind of hit me, and I wrote a few things down that may or may not mean anything, but I just noticed recently, I mean, within the last, 5 or 6 months, on how many mainstream stuff is coming through, and they're pushing, literally almost shoving satellites on your throat.
Yeah.
One good example is they have a show that is totally all about it, which is called What on Earth, and nothing but satellites. Satellite this, satellite this, satellite that. Look what we found over here on the satellite.
Yeah.
And even the movies, Triple X, the whole plot of the movie is about a satellite could get in the wrong hands. And another thing when you were talking about your experts on Mythbusters, I don't know why I keep watching the show. I guess I'm trying to catch them on something, which I think I did.
Yeah.
They had a big, huge New Year's, marathon, and on one of them, it was the one with the where they had a sharpshooter out there, or a sniper.
Yep.
They were trying to test to see how quickly you could, once you see the muzzle explode, how fast you could react to get out of the way of the blowout.
Yeah.
Which I thought was silly as hell, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Because after 200 feet, you can't see the muzzle shot. But anyhow, so they're sitting there, and Jamie says snipers have to take a lot of things into consideration.
Yeah.
And he says, the angle, the wind, and distance. And I'm like, well, that makes lots of sense. And then right before a commercial comes on, none other than Adam Savage jumps in, and it's him now in 2016. And he's saying, and this show, and he's like, kind of recapping.
Yeah.
And they have to take a lot of things in consideration. And he adds, instead of the, angle, wind, and distance, he has to add Coriolis effect.
Of course.
Even though in the show they never mention.
Yeah. And they're never going to.
They're all. It just reminds me back when you said NASA's scrambling. Well, so is the mainstream media. And they are just shoving this stuff down our throat.
Yeah.
Everything's about the planets and the sun and the moon and all this science. And
yep. I hear you, man.
Once you're a flat earther, this stuff, you're rolling your eyes and you just want to scream.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. And again, we'll see. This thing's spreading far and wide, and I've got high hopes that we're going to hit critical mass this year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Anyway, any shout outs before I let you go?
Hey, I'll just mention that if anyone wanted to see our New Year bash, I got it on my channel, Flat Earth News Talk. I had a band come over with friends of mine,
cool.
And we all got together and started playing guitars, and we had a great time. So we got 2 videos, Christmas, New Year's Eve bash, and then after that we had a kind of an after party.
Awesome.
thing.
Awesome.
So
That's great, man.
I actually even get up there and sing.
Oh, wow.
Doing my playing my guitar and singing.
Awesome. That's great. All right, man. Hey,
All right.
you
That's about all.
have a good rest of your night, and we'll talk to you next time, okay?
All right, we'll see you. Bye.
All right. Before we go to the break, I just wanted to clarify real quick on that email that was talking about the Dyson sphere. If anyone, how shall I explain this? It's if you have the technology, you have to believe in a solar system. The best example of a Dyson sphere would be the one from Star Trek Next Gen, where they built one around a sun. It's if you build an artificial structure around a sun. Let's see if we can pick up this call before the break. You are on live with Strange World right now. You've got about 2 minutes to the break. Who are you? What do you want?
Hi, this is Randy from Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
I have a conspiracy theory.
You have a conspiracy theory? Shoot. What do you got?
Yeah, I believe that Einstein was killed by the mafia.
An interesting thought. I have never heard that. And I can't condemn.
Yeah, because he knew too much.
Wow. That's interesting. Is there any is this something that we can find online? Is there stuff out there on this?
Yeah, go to www.yourajabroni.com.
Oh, this guy again. You going to do this every week to me?
Oh, was it last week I did this? I thought it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think you actually skipped. But thank you anyway for calling in. And just before the break, good timing. Love it. You got to love the haters. And I'm not even going to explain what he said because I'm not going to dignify it. Just know that karma is a horrible, horrible, vengeful thing. And I don't have to lift a finger. All right. Real quick. Oh, you know what? God, I just wanted to read this email, but we're going to break. So we'll talk to you guys in 3 minutes.
Hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, and this is part 2 of 4. And the phone number to call in is 720-897-6111. That phone number, 720-897-6111. Come one, come all, lovers and haters. I welcome you. Emails. In the meantime, this one's from Nick. Nick says, Mark, I'd like to hear more of what you think of the Bart Sabril footage of the NASA fake-green Earth imagery. They say they're in low Earth orbit, but some would say low Earth orbit is the same as high-altitude flight. I believe this footage is extremely important in the flat Earth argument. I do too. I used to be a big believer in the footage, because it was obviously fake. You know, that part no one really can dispute. The fact that the astronauts were faking the Earth from a long distance away, when in fact they were in low Earth orbit. But the flat Earth puts a whole other spin on that, which is that they were faking even that. Because I was always trying to figure out how Bart Sabril got a hold of this thing over in England. You know, why would, if you're going to leak a tape to somebody, why aren't you leaking it to somebody else? How did he get a hold of this? Not going to crack on the guy too bad, even though I didn't really like his methods when he confronted the astronauts, even though he got results. Do the ends justify the means in that case? That's for somebody else to decide. But what I'm getting at here is that I think that was yet another layer, which meant that footage was very, very clever. So everyone knows the Apollo missions were just an utter piece of crap. They have not aged well from a special effects standpoint. They really have not aged well. But the low Earth orbit fakery by the Apollo astronauts, that was genius, because at the very least you're saying, well, they didn't go to the moon because they faked it from low Earth orbit, which implies that there is an orbit, there is a globe. It's just one more thing, a piece of globe reinforcement. It's kind of a fallback piece, so you can say, well, okay, because I've had people tell me this, both in interviews and on air. They said, well, the Apollo missions were a piece of crap, but the very least, everything in low Earth orbit is real. And so, yeah, it's anyone don't know what we're talking about here. I believe it's called Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. It was done 10 years ago now. And it's interesting footage. It shows how astronauts with a color camera were faking faking distance away from the Earth using the round porthole in the capsule, and using cardboard cutouts and simulating a crescent, sort of a shadow of a moon over the Earth, and it was from a great distance, but it obviously wasn't. Interesting stuff. Do I think it's a make or break argument for the flat Earth? No, but it is one more layer, and it really helps discredit the space program in general. The Apollo program is already a piece of crap. And it is from 2001, the Peanut Gallery says to me. In fact, I should keep up on what the Peanut Gallery is doing over here. Peanut Gallery. Let's go to unread. Peanut Gallery. And yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, so this next one is going to be from John. Hi, my name is John Fav. Fajvan. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I've been looking into flat Earth for about 18 months. One factor I feel could dismiss the whole theory is the Southern Star Trails. I've seen the video by Eric Dubé, and to be honest, I don't understand what he's trying to say. Do the Southern Stars rotate clockwise, or is it a lie? If I were to film Southern Star Trails, which direction would they rotate? Some people claim the clockwise rotation is a lie. Some have ridiculous, in my opinion, explanations to why the trails appear to rotate clockwise. I'm interested on your view of the matter. But before we do that, phone calls all over the place. I'm going to pick up 434 first, and after that, I will go after 321. You are on live with Strange World. Who are you? Where are you from? Hello?
Hi, my name is Jim. We talked together. I'm a pilot from Virginia.
You're a pilot from Virginia, and just so I know, you're on the show, right?
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
I was just touching base with you, and I didn't have a lot of observations to make, but I just want to call in and check in with you and let you know what's going on out here. As I said, I've been following you for about a year and a half now.
Wow.
Not too long right after you started all this stuff.
Well, thank you.
So,
thank you.
It's continuing to kind of flesh out the whole concept of the flat Earth and things like that. It's been a rather amazing journey.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly kind of reaching out to other people and talking to them about it.
Cool.
Kind of do it like you suggested to be the, introduce it gradually. So anyway, I just wanted to say that I was one of the guys out here that's on the East Coast. As I said, I'm a commercial pilot. And a lot of the observations and things people you brought on the show about the radios and the navigation systems and things like that, I agree with all that. I've seen that play out for almost 40 years now.
And do you kind of agree with
how to put it all together?
No, that's fantastic. Do you kind of agree with, because I was talking to the flight instructor out of, was that Indiana or Iowa? Can't remember which one, but because I always mistake those two. But you kind of, because when people say, well, pilots have to be all in on it, and he goes, no. He goes, pilots are so busy doing other things that they just wouldn't see it, even though it was in front of them. Do you kind of agree that they're just too busy to notice such a thing?
Well, I think so, and I think you accept that. I mean, you accept what we're told. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you look at it, it's just like, every flight now when I get up there, I fly more of a mid-level type aircraft, so usually the highest we go is about 26,000 feet. But as you know, whether you're standing on the beach and looking straight ahead, the horizon is eye level. If you're at 10,000 feet, it's eye level. if you're at 27,000 feet, and the highest I've ever been is like 45.
Yeah.
And it's all level, but you've been told that it's a certain way, and you look at it through the new, I guess what I would say is new eyes.
Yeah.
In fact, I had my iPhone on one day, and I did the little panorama shot in the cockpit, and you just sweep from one side to the other. And so I think a lot of it is we do what we're told. We follow the navigation systems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you start thinking about, I don't know if you had someone on about, what a gyro is in the airplane.
Yeah.
The gyro, once it starts spinning, it's in that plane.
Yeah.
Well, if the airplane was going around the ball, it would be constantly in the wrong direction. We don't ever correct for that.
Yeah. I was about to say, because some people say, well, with the new navigation systems that everything autocorrects. I'm going, okay, what did they do back in World War II? What did they do when the new planes come out? I mean, you have to, and when you're training, you have to manually adjust for it. If because when you're training, you go off manual systems when you're first learning the airplane. And I have yet to have. Go ahead.
They just say they spin. In other words, the old mechanical gyro, just that they had a vacuum system in them.
Yeah.
It comes off the engine and spins the gyro up. And once it starts spinning that plane, it stays there. And then based on the movements that you do with the airplane, the gyro stays the same, but you rotate around it. And we don't ever make any compensation for it or anything like that. It's just, like I said, I think we've gotten so used to being told this is the way it is that we just kind of accept it.
Yeah, why not?
And I've done it till
and even if
till just a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and even if you did, you probably heard my clues. Even if you did go against everything you've been trained, and told since you were, a small child, when you come to that moment, who are you going to tell? Well, where do you go with that? It's like if you're a navigator on a 777. Or if you're a captain on where, who are you going to go to? You're going to go to your co-pilot and say, hey, you know what? Yeah. It looks flat out there. I think it actually is flat. I mean, you would be grounded so quickly, which is why I joked. I said you'd be better off telling people that you were chased by a UFO. That would actually be more. You would get less funny looks than saying the other thing. So
yeah.
Well, cool stuff. I'm glad you.
Well, thank you.
Go ahead.
You've given good advice about just telling people to kind of introduce things carefully. So I kind of feel people out, and I got 3 members of my family that pretty well have come to accept it, and I just kind of keep introducing information to them.
Nice.
And some of the other members of the family, I'm just kind of biding my time, shall we say. But you're right. If you just blurted that out to other fellow pilots, I mean, they keep going nuts.
Yeah. I mean, you have to come at them sideways. You have to say, hey, you really got to come at them and say, look, I watched this funny thing on YouTube. It's, these people are talking about that, we're going, the flat earth and what do you think? And if they come at you and say, anybody that thinks there's a flat earth should be strung up and burned, then, you probably shouldn't continue down that path. But if they're relatively open to it, then you say, hey, if you like that, you should watch this video or you should watch this video. So cool. I'm glad. Again, I have yet to try to do. Go ahead.
I just said I was going to ask you. I was going to try. I just got one of these newer cameras, SLRs with a telephoto lens, and I'm going to try to find a place out here in Virginia where you can, I know I don't have any doubt that we'll find it. Just setting up the right atmospherics. It's the time of the year where you can get good, clear weather, and so your chances of being able to shoot across a large gap of flat water, to see, the distance. I think I'll be able to find something like that. Anyway, I maybe just want to say thanks for doing what you're doing. It's been quite a trip for the last year and a half. So it's been really a feat for me.
Well, cool. I'm glad I could help, and keep on doing what you're doing, and thank you for sticking with us.
All right. You have a good one now.
All right. You too. Later. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Phone number to call in is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. And to answer John's email, because I was reading that just before the phone call started coming in, the Southern Star Trails, everyone's got their own, well, I shouldn't say everyone. There's several different theories in the Southern Star Trails. Do I believe some rotate clockwise and some don't? Yes, I do. But remember, I think the entire sky system is a planetarium. So I think from a software standpoint and a computer programming standpoint, it can be done easily with instancing. We've been doing this for the last 15, 20 years in entertainment software and other simulation software right now. If other people want to go at it take a different angle on it, that's fine. I will go with whatever the general consensus is. Oh, wow. And 2 more phone calls came in. I got to take 321 first. I don't know what 321 is. You are on live with Strange World. Who are you? Where are you from?
Hey, Mark. This is Daryl calling from Merritt Island, Florida.
Hey, what's going on in Florida?
Oh, not too much, man. Just watching these fake rockets go up every so often.
Nice.
I did have a question. I did have a question for you, man.
Yeah.
I've been following you for a while now. Much respect for what you do.
Thanks.
What gave you the idea of like the dome and like the whole planetarium type thing? And that it blows my mind. And I was just like wondering where you came up with that from.
Well, I kind of got into the dome planetarium thing because of what the powers that be were doing in the 1950s. So it started when I was looking at this thing. I mean, some people say, well, it's obviously biblical, so you got to go down there. I was like, yeah, fine. I knew about the firmaments and I knew about this whole snow globe thing, and I got that. But what really started me going down the dome was when the United States and the Soviet Union, then the Soviet Union, were doing high altitude nuclear testing from 1958 to 1962, when they were firing all their nukes were committed to aerial bursts for 4 years straight. And I was trying to think, it's like, okay, what would I do? I have one of my things that I like to do is put myself in other people's shoes. And so when I put myself in their shoes, like, what would I do? That's exactly what I would do. I would hit it as hard as I could. With those first 3 shots were all megaton shots. And then after that, they were, medium kiloton weapons. And they did those for 4 years. And for me, it's like, okay, you're painting the sky, basically. And then I dovetailed that into my other thought, which was, okay, if I wanted to hide the world, or I should say keep it hidden, what would I do? The first thing I would have to do is hide the outer edge and hide the upper edge. And, you got to look at the coincidences. The fact that after those first 3 shots, all of a sudden, NASA was formed in 1958. And then when 1959, when Van Allen announced the radiation belt, he comes on and says, oh, yeah, a massive belt of radiation. Nobody can get through it. It's super deadly. No one ever should go through it. And then, of course, that came back to bite him because they said, back then they still didn't know. It's like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to the moon. And then they had to go back to Van Allen. Right. It's like, how the astronauts going to get through your radiation belt? He says, well, they can just go really, really fast. And that was literally his answer. It's
hit
like,
the gas.
So he's like, just punch it, you'll be fine. Going, that might work maybe on the way out. I don't know how you're going to get back if you believed in that. So between all those things, they kept pointing to the same conclusion for me anyway, which was some sort of barrier. Now, whether or not anybody can get through it, hard to say. But there's in the flat Earth community, there's 2 schools of thought: one with a barrier, one without the barrier. I think Jeffrey Grupp's work on optical refraction and how you get these interesting how sundogs are created. I think that's a brilliant take on and how rainbows are formed. Like, for example,
I've seen some of his videos too.
Yeah. Jesse Spots was a brilliant little video where he's going, we can make rainbows indoors right now. We have the technology to make rainbows indoors, but you need a reflective surface to do it. So the question is, when you're outside, what's the reflective surface? And everything for me just kept pointing back. And then, of course, the Christian side of things, where they talk about the firmament. Yeah. And if you want to throw one more in, and I don't want to drag it out, you know most of these points. You want to throw one more little thing in, and that is the Werner von Braun's headstone, where it says the year he was born, the year he died, and then Psalms 19:1. I did not know what 19:1 was, but when I looked it up, it says, "And the firmament shows his handiwork. Why would the father of rocket science, the guy that, the Nazi guy that formed NASA, why is he talking about why is he talking about a dome? So, will I lose sleep if there is no dome? No, of course I won't lose any sleep over it. But for me, I'm rooting for the dome. That's where I'm going with it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Anything else?
Awesome. Well, Mark, thank you so much, man. No, that's it, man. I appreciate it. I'll probably give you a call back some other time, but, man, keep up the great work, man, and we all appreciate it out here.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. See ya.
Have a good one, man.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Phone number to call is 720-897-6111, 720-897-6111. And note that if I am on the phone when you call, it probably will go to voicemail. You're not going to be picked up by a receptionist. And so as I say that, 860 is calling in. Let's pick up 860. You are on live with Strange World. Who are you? Where are you from? What are we talking about?
Hey, Mark. From Mario, electrical technician, working for Siemens. Connecticut.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just make sure you talk close to the phone.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
I can.
Yep. Electrical technician from Connecticut.
Okay, cool.
I got a couple points, man. I just got into this maybe like 4 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And then, I'm watching Eric DeBay's videos. Uh-huh. And I understand where he's coming from, but a lot of his points are just, like anti-Israel, I'm not Jewish. I can understand the whole fucking thing, but it seems to me that is almost detracting.
I agree.
Certain people where it just comes out like, he's a college abuser. I understand, but it's almost detracting from the whole the point of what you guys are saying. List out these other points like that.
I absolutely agree. I have condemned and I know which videos you're talking about. He made one in particular, and I'm not going to repeat the name of it here, so that people don't.
It's his interviews too. He does the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I just found you 2 days ago, so. You have a whole different perspective. I mean, you go high when everyone else goes low. It's amazing, man. Even what you did with the guy trolling you a couple calls back.
Oh, thank you.
To me, go on.
I know where you're going with this, but believe me, I'm trying to set a good example for others that are out there when it comes. And I'm not going to single out Eric too much because he's not alone. Everybody's got their own agenda. It kind of falls into the politician syndrome where you've seen this, where politicians will try to get a bill passed, but then there'll be, the writers, where it's like, okay, we'll pass this bill, but I get this. Okay, I'll help pass your bill, but I'm going to get, a new subway system, or I'm going to get this, or, I'm going to get all this stuff. And that's what they're kind of doing with this. It's like, oh yeah, and I actually wrote this back to somebody who was emailing me recently, who was going down that road. And I tried to explain, I'm going, look, you're missing the big picture here, which is the flat earth is the most unifying idea to hit this civilization, I think, ever. Or at very least in the last 5,000 years. You can't say it's the most unifying thing ever and it'll turn us all into one big family, but I also want to target a demographic and have them wiped out.
I appreciate it, and I feel like the only way to make this movement grow is put a Gandhi approach to it. You're not going to fight it. I mean, you're not going to fight whoever's, laying down these lines. You just have to, you do a sit-in. You just, you don't move. And, if you're crushed, you're crushed. I mean, that's, don't fight back. That's the whole, the only way to win, man. It's the only way to win. I just have one quick question for you, man.
Sure.
If this is a whole, if this is a whole small, dome and basically limited resources are available, then why are we abusing it so bad? If the powers to be know about this, obviously, and they do, why don't they recycle more, conserve everything? I mean, you fix things instead of just toss them away. I mean, it almost seems like we're just polluting ourselves in this dome, and we're going to choke ourselves to death here.
Unless they know something about the end game that we don't. That's my. I've had people ask me that before. It's like, wouldn't they know that there's finite resources? Wouldn't they know that they'd be, contaminating the planet? One of two things could be happening here. One would be, if it is an automated system, if it is an enclosed system, then maybe there are parts of it that will help filter stuff out. Maybe there's part of an air filtration system built in that will help solve things. Maybe the pollution in the water, once it gets to a certain point, releases something that helps clarify it. I'm not sure, but it seems that the powers that be have access to more information, obviously, than we do. Maybe they see part of the end game that we don't, and so they figure, well, who cares? Well, let the coal factories fire up.
Light the candle from both ends.
Why not? We know where it's going, or maybe they know that the creator, maybe they know the time that the creators are going to try to come back. I don't know, but you're right. They're going about it in a reckless fashion. They're taking a chance there.
It seems to me that they're taking a big gamble. They're playing a game with somebody else's money, and if that is the case, I think it should be everyone should be informed of what they're doing at least.
I agree.
Don't play with my money. That's how I feel.
Yep, I hear you.
Well, hey, Mark, I appreciate it, man. If I could, I'd like to give a shout out to my wife, who I drive crazy with all this fucking bullshit.
Absolutely. And, if she's listening and she's not a believer yet, hey, everyone in their own time, we're not jamming it down people's throats.
No, I hear you. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, man. All right. You have a good night.
Good show, man. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, phone number to call in, 720-897-6111. That phone number is 720-897-6111. And the Peanut Gallery sent a thing about Donald Trump. Oh, yes, the Trump team member. Yeah, I love the fact that Donald Trump's team member is using flat earth in his vocabulary. Now, of course, he's equating flat earth to crazy. I love the fact that mainstream media, and I think it's deliberate, is tying the term flat earth and trying to make it a synonym for crazy. Flat earth equals crazy. And so let's not even say crazy anymore. Flat earth is the new crazy. Oh, that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt right there. Someone should get that. Or a bumper sticker. Flat earth is the new crazy. That's great. This email is from Kurt. Let's see if we can get one more in before the break. Hello, Mark. I've been a flat earther for a few months now, but still have not talked about flat club to anyone, even my wife. I am a Bible-believing Christian, and it is clear that the Bible teaches a flat, stationary earth, and I'm also a huge fan of Kent Hovind. Interestingly enough, I wish he would open his eyes to the true Earth, but since he has taught on subjects regarding what NASA claims is outer space, it would discredit much of his work if he were to accept the flat Earth. Anyways, now and then I get together with two friends, one who deals with top secret security clearances. We all live here in Washington, D.C. area, and the other who is a pilot and an air traffic controller. I plan to drop the flat earth bombshell on them at our next get together, but I need to just know how to do it in a delicate way in order to get them hooked. Any suggestions on how to stump an air traffic controller pilot, another with a top secret clearance? Keep up the good work, Mark. I pray for your journey in fighting the ultimate truth will lead you to an understanding this world was created by the God of this universe, and our salvation is secured only through the blood of his son, Jesus Christ. With full support, Curtis. Curtis, when it comes to, I'll see if I can, I got a few seconds to the break. Come at him sideways. Do not open the conversation, after a few drinks and say, oh, this flat earth thing's great. Come at them sideways and ask them and tell them that there's this weird thing happening on YouTube, this weird trending thing. In fact, have them go into any browser and type in the earth is or is the. Just is the, and see what comes up. But the fact that Earth is flat is now coming up number one in the fill-in in any browser. That should give them kind of a moment for pause. So have them do that, and then find out how they feel. Then come at them. Anyway, come back.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It is January 3rd, 2017. This is the first show of 2017. And will it be the tipping point? Will 2017, will we hit critical mass? Will something even weirder than a rap battle between a Grammy-nominated rapper and the world's most popular astrophysicist? Can it get stranger than that? I think it can. All right. Phone number to call in is 720-897-6111. That is 720-897-6111. And let's just get, we got to do Flat Earth News, don't we? Because it's the top of the hour. What I'm doing here, let's do a shameless plug first, and that is the free site. It is enclosedworld.com. Please do try to subscribe to Truth Frequency Radio if you like their stuff. There's lots of great archives, not just me on there. And my subscription site is msargent.com, where you'll find all sorts of fun things, and if you don't like it, don't pay for it. Okay, so I go into YouTube and I type in Flat Earth. You can also type in Earth is Flat, but you also get some of the debunker stuff. But I type in Flat Earth and I set the filter to 1 week. But you didn't even know there was filters on there. You can set it to like 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken. And I start going through. Eric Dubé's got one, Flat Earth, Meteors, Comets, and Craters. Nice to see that he's cranking the stuff out there. I did another license plate compilation for all the people that are getting Flat Earth license plates. Remember, you got 6, 7, or 8 letters to work with. So get creative. And if you can, send me the screenshots. And I will put them in a collection. I'm going to try to do at least once a month. 704 calling in. You are on live with Strange World. Who are you? Where are you from? What are we talking about?
I'm Candy from Dallas, North Carolina, and I'm the one that always calls and interrupts your Flat Earth News session.
How are you?
Every time. I'm really aggravated because David Rose won't answer any of my messages. I think he's maybe scared.
Who isn't?
David Rose, the one that was supposed to do the debate with Jeffrey Grubb.
Oh, right. Yeah, the guy that's got like 100,000 subscribers, and and I saw that you posted. Was that a Twitter thing or a Facebook thing that you posted?
I don't know.
But anyway, he was saying that. Oh yeah, but the flat earthers are probably going to just.
I screenshotted. I messaged him.
Yeah, so he's ignoring.
I screenshotted the message. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. What he was thinking of debating somebody, and I suggested Jeffrey Grubb, and then he just hasn't gotten back to you.
Right. I know he's not a scientist or anything, but he needs somebody to put him in his place. I don't know if he's scared now or what, but I know he's losing a lot of subscribers over it. He's got like 400 and something comments with people, pretty pissed off that he doesn't believe the flat earth and he's a Christian.
All right. Well, again,
kind of enough to
he made a video about it, which means it's in his head. So hopefully we'll get something out of him eventually. And that was David VOSE. Was that his last name?
Yep.
David VOSE. Yeah. So anyone else wants to go out there and post something to him, I'd love to get him in a debate with Jeffrey Grubb. Yeah, I'll do it too, of course. But I promise the next one to Jeffrey. If I've already done a couple of really cool debates, but they are few and far between. And so we the Flat Earth community kind of treats them like gold when we actually get a really solid one. And anyone with 100,000 subscribers willing to come up against us, I'd love to hear it. So thank you for reaching out. So go ahead.
Most of his subscribers are like pissed at him. They're arguing with him on his comment thread.
Nice.
He lost a lot of subscriptions because of that. And he said, I don't care if people keep unsubscribing. I think I'm right, and I don't know why everybody don't see what we've learned our whole lives. And he took, I don't remember what video it was, but he kind of depicted a video. I think that people are saying he used one example that, of course, NASA taught us to counteract what it was saying about the flat Earth. So I think most people that look into it don't get out of it. I actually found somebody to talk to with it. met somebody and started talking about flat Earth, and now we're dating. Like, what the hell?
Nice.
I told you I tell everybody. The Earth's flat. I'm crazy. You still want to talk to me?
Good.
But we've been watching your videos, and she's like, "Wait, tell me about that flat Earth again."
Honestly, I think that
the movement, and she doesn't believe that anymore.
Yeah.
He argued with me, and he's like, "Well, you know what? What was Cold War for?" Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Oh man!" And he yelled at me. He's 17. He said, "You really think you're smarter than all of them scientists that do this for a living?" I said, "I'm not smarter. My mind is a little bit more open, I guess." And I got undoctrinized.
Yeah. Again, I've gotten the same question. People say, "Well, are you saying you're smarter than Stephen Hawking or Albert Einstein or anything?" I'm going, no, I don't have to be, because if their equations, it's kind of like something that Tesla said, where, in fact, I think I could find it from the peanut gallery here, where Tesla was saying,
because I asked my daughter, if you could go back in time and meet anybody that you could ever meet, who would it be? She said Michael Jackson. Why? Because you could teach how to move. I'm like, that's not a weird option. But I said, well, what about you? I said, Nicholas Chaplin. She's like, I don't know who that is, but you're weird.
Yeah, Tesla said, this is the quote I wanted. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. And that's, so I said, look, if a scientist has spent his entire life, 30 years or 40 years, working on equations that talk about how the moons of Jupiter orbit, I'm sorry, he's wasted his time. I feel bad for the guy. Am I smarter than him? No, but he's found the foundations where he was starting. He wakes up saying that it was a solar system. So
yeah.
Anyway. Any shout outs before I move on to my next stuff?
No, but I'll let you know. I sent another message to David today. I've actually left messages on a few videos, so maybe he would not see this one. But I asked him for his email address, and I gave him mine, because the first time I asked him to give me his, and I said, well, maybe he wasn't comfortable doing that. So this time I gave him my email, and I said, just email me directly, so we can get the debate that you want to done. Like, we want it too.
Yeah, I know. But that's great.
I think
we'll get him. We'll get him eventually.
He's got so many subscribers that I think that if his subscribers hear that, they're going to see more people will be open to it. Like, they'll be exposed to it.
Yeah, I agree.
150,000 people, that's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. No, I love anyone that wants to debunk, if they've got a whole bunch of subscribers, and which is why I rubber stamp every one of those channels, every one of those videos, and I say, thank you for introducing your subscribers to the concept, because some of these people are going to be converted, and you just don't know.
And thanks to the North Carolinian who got the North Carolina, it's flat. That broke my heart.
Oh, that's all right. Don't there's others. You can still get ITS, FLAT, and stuff like that. So get creative. Think of something. In fact, there was a guy the other day who said he was going to use
this. I think it was no curve.
There you go. No curve. Perfect. I mean, that's 7 letters. That's great. I love that one. So
I like Patricia's too.
Yeah, Patricia's is nice too. I like it. If you're lucky enough to get 8 in your state, then you can have some real fun. The difference between
New York and California.
Yeah, New York and California. So anyway, I got to move on to stuff, but thank you, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. All
right, bye-bye. Okay, and just so you guys know, before the next break, I'm not going to do it right this second, obviously, because I'm getting some things saying the call quality that's coming in from the outside isn't great. It is not anyone that's calling's fault. I think it is how it is being routed to me. So what I'm going to do is at the next break, I'm going to disconnect and reconnect, and maybe I can get a better line. Not sure exactly what's happening, but I have seen it every once in a while, and usually I would catch it before then, but no big deal. I'll try to remedy it as best I can. And the Peanut Gallery says blame Canada. Nice, Peanut Gallery. Thank you. No, I'm not blaming Canada, although that is a great song written by Trey Parker in South Park in the movie, and it was actually nominated for a Oscar for Best Song of the Year for a movie, Best Soundtrack Song. And it was performed by Robin Williams. Again, it's brilliant. Anyway, more Flat Earth news stuff. Let's see here. My Perspective did Stationary Flat Earth. Chris Pontius released his 2017 physical model, which people can buy if they want. You can contact him. All you have to do is look at the video. It's called Flat Earth 2017 Physical Model, or you can just email him directly at flattinit, FLATTINIT, at gmail.com. Rob Skiba did a wonderful interview with Robbie Davidson and Brian Mullen simultaneously on Revolutionary Radio on this network, TFR, which is great. That ran, same sort of thing, 2 hours minus commercials. See anything else? Flat Earth Asshole, Flat Earth 100% proof high altitude balloon footage, a lot of stuff out there. Conversation with Flat Earth Math from Jeranism, and another one from Jeranism, all things Flat Earth show with Madison Star Moon and guests. He's been just cranking stuff out. NASA channel, Matt doing a Flat Earth Christmas message 2017, always entertaining. Flat Earth Asshole, no, it was a big week. End of the year was big. There was a lot. Celebrate Truth. Think the Flat Earth is dumb. The world has gone pear-shaped by Celebrate Truth. Also great. Flat Earth Hub creating stuff. Quasi-Luminous slowing down just a little bit. See Mars Rover, Feed Your Mind, Taboo Conspiracy. I'm only on page 2. See Paul Sandu. Question Flat Earth. Why are day and night not equal on Earth? Also excellent. Educate Yourself. Moon Landing Hoax. Flat Earth. And just cranking. Everyone just ended the year on a great note. So thank you everyone that was doing that stuff. Now I can close this window and save some bandwidth. Let's go right to more emails, shall we? This one's from TJ. Hi Mark, I got this email address from 20 minutes into your excellent Flat Earth video. I hope it still works. Yes, it does. I've seen a number of videos, pro and con. Yours really fascinated me for 2.5 hours. Well, 2+ hours. And yes, while I can't accept most of what the Flat Earth proofs say, there is one that really bothers me, and I don't think your video covered it. Can you explain it? I've not proved this, so I'm pretty sure I have heard this one before. But this is not a test and not a trick. I really am ready to become a Flat Earther. It makes it sound like a religion, doesn't it? Ready to become a Flat Earther. As it makes the most sense, yet I have a big issue with the sunrise and sunset paradigm. If the Earth is flat and the sun rotates around above the flat plane, shouldn't a sunrise show the sun increasing in size as it gets closer to where I am and then diminishing as it approaches a sunset? This drives me nuts because I can see the other evidence, but this is in a box with the lunar eclipse where the bright sunlight crescent is on the bottom of the moon. By the way, I am the author of Quantum Earth Simulation, wherein I was given the Earth as a 3D construct, showing as a VR sphere, and I am questioning my own source on this. My goal currently is to update the QES book with the new Chapter 11 to prove the FE. So far, I have 66 pages and many pics, but I'd like to resolve the sunrise and bottom eclipse issue. I have seen some of the idiotic proofs against the FE, and they are juvenile and oversimplified. Your video really does say a lot, and one of my major points in the new Chapter 11 is that God is being hidden by the atheistic powers that be, and the Flat Earth proves his grace in caring for us. Attached is a partial sample of the Chapter 11, and by the way, I also add Dr. Auguste Piccard to the chapter. He said the Earth he saw at 10 miles up in 1931 was flat with a border of some sort, but he took no pics, or did he? And they are hidden away. Please help if you can. Thanks, TJ Hegland, Hegland. And yes, I will email him separately in case he doesn't catch this show. But if you want to look at some really good sun and moon arguments, 2 sites I recommend. One is DITRH, otherwise known as Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Check out that YouTube page, and also check out Zeticism.com by Jeffrey Grupp. Both those guys do some top-notch work on the sun, but I will email him back and let him know this as well, because I got a funny feeling he is not listening to this right now. Jason writes, Jeff Grupp challenge. Hey, Mark, I have another possible challenge or debate for Jeff. Last year, you were on Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, so you may be able to get Jeff on to debate Jimmy. I think Jimmy, knows the truth, but goes against everything he talks about. And as of late, he's been throwing jabs and mocking the flat earth. For example, his December 8th, 2016 show in the last 15, 20 minutes, YouTube link if you choose to listen. Thanks, Jason. I have not heard that he was slamming the flat earth, even though he interviewed me. And he tried to, he was very polite during the interview, and I thought the interview went very well. We didn't do any follow-up interviews, but I didn't know he was slamming it. I don't know if he'd be the best guy to go up against Jeffrey Grupp, though, because he is a talk show host, and I don't think – I suppose it could, but we really need somebody with more academia to go up against Jeffrey Grupp. So it's a nice idea. I just don't think Jimmy – heck, if you want to set it up, please, email Jimmy on my behalf and say, look, Jeffrey Grupp will interview him, and who knows, maybe he's better than nothing. So sure, that's a possibility. If someone wants to contact Jimmy Church and say that, well, since you're now officially going against Flat Earth, well, would you like to do a hardcore debate against Jeffrey Grupp? Jeffrey Grupp would torch him. Oh my God, it wouldn't even be fair because Jeffrey's head is huge. Physically huge. I mean, I wear a size 8 hat, and his head is still bigger than mine. So, yeah, we'll see. Danielle writes, Mark, I have been following your videos about the flat earth and the Q&A session. I've been noticing that, unfortunately, some people are taking all of yours and the flat earth idea under a religious point of view, and I've been noticing that you kind of agree with that to a certain level, so I just want to suggest that you consider this information on this video linked below, which might give you new ideas about the truth to reality which we are in. Let me know if you consider my suggestion. Otherwise, I won't bother you anymore. Here's the link to the video. I'm doing this because I know sharing, freeing info is good for everyone, and we all have different pieces of the puzzle, so we should all help each other to break free. And if I click on this, and it goes to YouTube, and I won't read the title. It goes into the arc gels or the corrupt demiurge. Yeah, I know the story. And look, religion plays into this. It's going to. Especially the Christian faith, starting in Genesis. Look, Genesis chapter 1, the firmament, separating the waters above and the waters below, or Psalms 19:1, and the firmament shows his handiwork. The early versions, granted, it is not the most detailed writing, with, of course, the exception being the Book of Enoch and the Book of Jasher. The Book of Enoch is more or less a technical manual for this world. Was it canonized? No, it was not. But at the same time, it's a great technical manual on this world, and it's a real piece of religious text. I think that, like you said there, I think everybody's got a piece to the puzzle. All the major religions have something tied to this in some way. Each have their own strengths and weaknesses. So am I going to shy away from the religious side of? No, I'm not. Remember, I was raised a born-again Christian. So, and did I fall away from it when I got to college? Yes, I did. Has Flat Earth brought me back to it? Yes, it has. So, no, I'm not going to shy away from it. At the same time, I'm going to be open-minded to just about anything, because how can I not be? Anyone that calls up and they say they have an unusual theory, 90% of the time, I'm going to say, okay, I want to hear it, because I wake up and start my morning with Flat Earth, and after that, who am I to judge? But thank you, for reaching out. And yes, I have seen the demiurge stuff before. Okay, phone number to call in. We got a few minutes to the last break. I got to remember to reset this thing. 720-897-6111, 720-897-6111. This one's from Ryan. Ryan says, I am watching your video now. There is no doubt we live on a flat earth. We need to do something to expose this. What can I do to help? Well, Ryan, I imagine if he's just starting to watch this was a few days ago, if he just started getting into Flat Earth, he's lost a whole bunch of sleep. So, just keep spreading the word. But be careful about it. Remember the first rule of Flat Club, 913 area code. You are on live with Strange World right now. Who are you? Where are you from?
Hey, Mark, it's Joe from Iowa.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's going on?
Hey. Oh, no, I was wondering, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, but with the whole John B. Wells thing going on with
Oh, yeah. John B. Wells hates Flat Earth. Oh, he hates
But did you hear his whole statement against, FEA, I just call that, Flat Earth asshole guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard the statement that he made back to him?
No.
He said he's coming after all these flat earth. Like he's making he made a statement, and I'm so curious as to how this is gonna, if he's just gonna go quiet or if he's gonna do something.
Was it today? Was it yesterday? Do you remember?
It was a couple days ago. 2 days ago. It was flat earth asshole guy.
No. I remember John. Yeah, I remember Flat Earth Asshole. He's been launching attacks against everybody, which he should.
Yeah, but he came back. John B. Wells came back and said he's like he's all determined now to go out and prove all of the flat earthers wrong.
Good.
His whole state.
I'm
excited.
That's great because we need. I mean, honestly, I wish there was somebody bigger than him. Him some years ago would have been great. Right. But the fact that he's launching something against us, great. First off, he does not have the intellect to even begin to touch this thing. Look, we haven't even gotten any scientists. We haven't even gotten testimony. No. The testimony shows I've done. We haven't even gotten guys in that arena to come against or even refute their own statements. So I don't know where he thinks he's going to go with this. Yeah. Unless he's doing it for ratings because he knows it's a passionate crowd.
That's maybe what it be. But I mean, he's gonna maybe lose some listeners.
Good. I hope he does, and I hope that if he's smart. I could never get on his show, but what was the show I was supposed to be? There was another one that John B. Wells, and there was the other guy, Art Bell. That was the one I was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
But John B. Wells, he won't touch it because he's going with the defense, the only defense you can use against Flat Earth, which is the Pandora's box that you don't look at it. So he's making fun of Flat Earth from the outside, but he's not going to look. It's like, it's stupid.
Oh, he hasn't looked.
Yeah, this is dumb. I'm not going to look at it. It's ridiculous. In fact, you're dumb for looking at it or even bringing it up to me. Yeah.
I mean, he brought up the whole drain spinning one way.
Oh, not that. I mean, smarter.
I'm like, what? It's like,
dude. I mean, Smarter Every Day did a huge, expensive video on that and proved, and he's not even a flat earther, and proved that it's pretty much negligible. It's not even
my kitchen sink.
Yeah, it has nothing. It is truly a myth. If you see it in a toilet or a sink, you are not seeing it. It's something else is causing it. So
it's just the directional jets, or how you see in the kitchen sink. You put it on this side or that side.
Anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, look up Smarter Every Day. The what was the effect called? Wasn't the Coriolis effect? Was it? I think it was the Coriolis effect. In fact, hang on. Peanut Gallery.
What they were talking about.
Peanut Gallery just said that MythBusters bust that myth. Yeah, whatever. The MythBusters might have touched it, but the Smarter Every Day. They spent money. He did that simultaneous call with a guy in the southern hemisphere, way down the southern hemisphere. Did the wading pool with food coloring, so the water wasn't disturbed after hours, and the setup was identical in both sections, and it was absolutely nominal. I mean, it happened, but even he was the first one to admit it's like. Pfft. He goes, we got to see it, but it was so gradual that anyone that says they can see it in a toilet is high.
No.
In fact, here's the name of the video. The Truth About Toilet Swirl. That's what it's called.
Oh,
so if anyone wants to know, look up The Truth About Toilet Swirl from Smarter Every Day. I mean, this guy's got millions of followers, and he is not a flat earther. So, yeah. John, anyway, circle back. John B. Wells, welcome him. We got like a minute to the break, so I might as well keep you for another.
Okay. I got like two other things real quick.
Go. What do you got?
Operation Avalanche came out today. You seen it? Gonna see it?
No, I don't know if I'm going to see it in the theater, but I will download it. I tweeted about this. What'd you think?
It just came out. It just came out today on rental or DVD. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll download it.
Yeah,
I'll grab it.
Yeah,
not that I endorse the torrent in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that it might get ripped.
No, it looked interesting.
Okay.
No.
What was the other thing?
Totally far-fetched. Probably, I'm going to be out there a week from now, probably for work. So I didn't know if you'd be around, but probably
out in the Northwest.
Seattle area, Issaquah.
Yeah, maybe. Call me when, all right. Or send me an email. Just make sure you let me know when you're there, and I might be around.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right.
All right. Hey, have a good one.
All
right. Hey, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye. Phone number to call in before we go to the break is 720-897-6111. That phone number is 720-897-6111. And I don't hear the music yet. So when we come back, we'll read a few more emails, take a few more phone calls. Here's the music. Last break.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4, our last segment of the evening. And yes, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album, Night and Day. Phone number to call in is 720-897-6111. That number again, 720-897-6111. And while we're doing that, let's look through some emails. Here's one unknown phone number. Shall we risk it? We shall. Oh, wait. Answering this call, put your active call on hold. Uh-oh, I can't add it to group call. Why not? Uh-oh. I've got a problem. Because I disconnected and reconnected, I don't think I can take any more calls. Oh, man, that sucks. I'm sorry, guys. Anyone that's trying to call in during this last segment, I may have done something. And I don't know exactly how I did it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with it without rebooting the machine. And since the last break, I'm not going to do it during it. I'm sorry. You guys can keep trying to call, but I don't think... I'm trying to look and see if there's anything else here. Yeah, crap. Can't do it for whatever reason. Nope, everything says that. No, everybody's calling in. I'm sorry, I can't take the call. I can't take the call, guys. I wish I could, but for whatever reason, no. Peanut Gallery is saying stay out of Canada. No, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Computers, as you know, are still pretty twitchy. As a matter of fact, I can tell you a little thing about like Skype. I know on this machine, if I close it for whatever reason, I cannot reopen it unless I fully reboot the machine. So sorry, guys. That's okay. We can read emails for the rest of this thing. This one's from Richard. There's no need to read this on the air. You're going to start with that? I'm still reading on the air. When you give the Jeffrey Grupp, is that spelled right? Yes, Grupp, debate challenge, you could remind any scientist that might be listening that although it might be embarrassing to have to debate a flat earther, the scientist who shuts up flat earth once and for all could become famous for setting the flat earthers to rest. Just an idea for a taunt to get someone. Yeah. Any scientist, that's a great point. You, so far, we're into this a good year and a half. The Flat Earth Clues is going to be 2 years old in February. And nobody shut us down yet. Not even close. The limited debates that we've had, we've just destroyed who's ever been against us. So please, by all means, any scientists out there that think they can shut down Flat Earth, love to see it, if that's possible. Let's see. This email's from... Who's this from? And I apologize for the disconnect and reconnect thing. I should have known that that was going to happen. But I'm not going to shut down Skype because I'd have to reboot this machine. Sorry, not going to happen. Mr. Sargent, been watching your videos for a few months now, along with so many others on YouTube. I can't say that I've seen all the vids you have posted, but I'm working on it. And yeah, even a straight up call. I know what Peanut Gallery is trying to do to connect to me. Yeah, even that's not working. So at least I'm connected to the studio. That's good. I have a proof, at least I tell myself, that helps me explain. It's my end, by the way. This is not TFR. TFR is a wonderful organization. I would never say anything bad about them. So this is not their fault. This is mine. I have a proof, at least I tell myself, that helps me explain the flat earth. A simple magnetic compass. If you have ever used a magnetic compass, not the garbage that you can install on a smartphone, but the analog kind, the ones with this round watch-like face with a needle inside that points to the North Pole, well, a compass must be held level, horizontal, in order for the needle to move properly. I live in Florida, which is fairly close to the equator compared to other parts of the United States. Being that far from the actual North Pole, an analog compass needle should actually be pointing down to the ground through the Earth to get to the actual North Pole, assuming we are on a globe Earth. But this is not the case. You must hold the whole thing level for the needle to point north to work at all. Level, flat, unless the magnetic field also curves around the globe like water supposedly does. Then there you have some more proof. Sorry if you have already covered this in any of your videos. Maybe some of the ones I haven't been able to watch yet might have this in it already. Thank you for the work that you are doing. You and a host of others are spreading the word about the deception that has been drilled into us from a very young age. It's because of the people like you that are waking people up to the truth. Maybe flat earth is wrong, maybe it's hollow, but one thing is for sure, the earth is not, capital N-O-T, a globe, at least how we've been taught. Again, thank you, Mike H. So thank you, Mike. Nice email. This one's from Anthony. It says, hello. If the earth is flat with an edge that I either fall off from or which has a wall that stops me falling off, in your opinion, what phenomenon am I unaware that made it possible for me to circumnavigate Earth from a point back to the same point on it? Cheers, Anthony. So, question we received basically in week 1, which is if you have a basketball and a dinner plate, you move your finger around a basketball, and sure, it's a sphere. But you can also move your finger around a dinner plate in a circle and come back to the same point. Does that make the dinner plate a sphere? No, it doesn't. Does it mean you circled around that dinner plate? Yes, it does. So if the world was the same as a dinner plate, you could take a big right-hand turn or a big left-hand turn and eventually come back to the same spot. Doesn't mean it's a sphere. It's an old argument, but at least this argument's better than if you asked why ships don't fall off the edge. That one is just the most insulting thing ever. But again, I can't condemn people too much for it because that's what we were taught as kids. Peanut Gallery keeps sending me messages, and sorry guys, I gotta see what he's sending. Read an article about how Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain due to the Earth not being perfectly spherical. Hawaii is taller than Everest. My point is, if that was the case, they're saying that the oceans are not at the same level from the center of the Earth. Would this not go against the water staying level, even on a spherical gravity world? Thank you, Peanut Gallery, and that's a good point. Excellent point. Somebody look up that article. How Everest is actually not the tallest mountain, that actually one in Hawaii is. Whatever. Next email is from Chris. Hi, my name is Chris Mowry. I've been a conspiracy theorist for just a few months. It's been amazing to say the least. Lots of info out there to appease the mind on what is going on around us, but on the flat Earth, it starts to answer too much more, especially about the timeline of space travel. Fitting in the SSP with our creator, whom is called the Alliance. Corey Good, David Wilcock. Sadly, we have gained so much as a civilization technologically that many people don't understand what they found in Antarctica. It changed humanity. We gained saucer technology from curious being from the outside that with their ships could come through the firmament. They learned to phase into a different dimension to transfer the firmament. So we got even more curious and started to venture out. Fake moon missions. They can't expose the fact that they have to phase out to leave the planet, so they fake it. They have been hiding what is coming for us, and that when we leave, everyone will learn the truth. Our spirits are powerful entities that have been overlooked for almost 13,000 years since the last movement, transitioning off the pole to be moved. Many will go to the pit in space. Also, scripture, I believe. I'm reading this verbatim, guys. The creators are here now and waiting above, and have been for 2 years. After the destroyed rate by marking the sun. There is a fantastic video of it with the stereo telescopes, which at this point makes more sense that they are telescopes on the ground watching space traffic. I believe there is more, but I just need to remember it. Anyways, when did you make that first video? Can't wait to talk, Chris. Well, Chris, drink of tea. All my videos are date and time stamped. The first Flat Earth Clue video was done February 10th of 2015. So check it out when you get a chance, and that's on my YouTube channel, Mark K. Sargent. Moving on, and I'm not going to give out the phone number again because unfortunately I cannot add you to my little studio thing right now because I made the mistake of disconnecting and reconnecting on this machine right here. Mike Cusack writes, "Hey Mark, someone called in the other day on your show talking about the new Star Wars film. I'm surprised they didn't mention that one of the planets that they went to, trying not to spoil much by giving you less details, I actually saw it just recently, looks just like Flat Earth. I kid you not. It also had a force field around it, almost like the firmament. Hiding God in fake Hollywood. Anyway, I'm working on a short video that has to do with the Flat Earth. I found something interesting that many people overlooked that I'm bringing into the light. Hopefully it'll be done in a couple weeks. I'm not a really good video editor guy. Do you recommend any video programs that are user-friendly for PC? Thanks. Have a good day. Talk to you later, Michael." And hopefully listens to the show. I honestly use Windows Live Movie Maker. It's free. In fact, it hasn't even been supported for a couple of years, but I'm using the latest build that they had. And it does okay. It's fine. There's lots of other video makers out there. I mean, I can't really recommend any specifically because I don't use anything super advanced. I know Jaron at one point, but when he was starting out, I don't know what he's using now, Jaron was using like Studio 12. I don't know what version they're up to now, but it was an old version he bought like $4 at a secondhand store. Most people are using pretty basic stuff. You don't have to go all out because the key with YouTube videos is speed rather than super flashy and of course content. Let's see here. Keith writes, "Hello, very interesting video that challenges a deeply rooted core belief of mine. I will be investigating further. This is a very convincing argument. Curious how others will respond to this. Thanks, Keith." Yeah, Keith, that's great. Thank you for getting into it. Anyone that goes down the Flat Earth path, it's a rabbit hole that you cannot climb easily out of. That's for sure. It sucks people in. It's really like the La Brea tar pits down in California, where people get in and then other people on the outside and say, "Oh yeah, I can help you get out of that. I can totally debunk Flat Earth." That's how everyone starts. There's another one of your T-shirts, which is, "I became a Flat Earther because I tried to debunk Flat Earth." Everybody starts out initially going against it. Some go at it harder than others. Some take longer than others. But your first reaction is, oh, it's a piece of crap. It's a terrible theory. It's an awful theory. You should get into real conspiracy theories like 9/11 and Sandy Hook and Boston bombing and JFK and Pearl Harbor and every major American war and take your pick. But Flat Earth is ridiculous. And you got to wonder how you can believe in so many other conspiracies, but Flat Earth is absolutely off the table. You got to wonder why. It's not just you. It's everybody thinks that. And it goes into the whole P.T. Barnum saying from Ringling Brothers back in the day. Of course, he also said that there's a sucker born every minute. But he also said you can fool some of the people all of the time and all of the people some of the time. And I think we're talking about the latter here, which is everybody was fooled. But you can't keep it up forever. You can't fool all the people forever. Sooner or later, it's going to crack. That's what we're really driving towards right now. Next email is from Avery. Avery says, hello, Mr. Sargent. I am almost convinced. Almost. I watched your video and was impressed with the fact of no GPS in the south and the airline stopping on land and taking too much time, etc., etc. That makes sense. Also, if the Earth was round and rotating, you would feel the change in acceleration as it increases as you go towards the equator. If a plane leaving Montreal, oh wow, it sounds like a math question, doesn't it? If a plane leaving Montreal in a direction west-east opposite the spin of the Earth and then turned around and went north-south direction, if it landed in Florida, the rotation of the Earth would destroy the plane if it touched the ground. Well, a plane is really just a slower-moving bullet, which we won't get into right now. I'm a big ballistics fan, among other little aspects of aesthetic knowledge. The answer is C, says the Peanut Gallery. Wheels would get hit from the Earth's rotation. The only thing I don't understand is the rotation of water that is supposed to go in different directions depending on which hemisphere you're in. No. Hopefully you were listening to the last part. We were talking about Smarter Every Day, the toilet water swirl issue. Could this be an effect not caused by rotation? This almost doesn't exist. It's so nominal that even he... And this guy's really detail-oriented when it comes to this some stuff. I really wish he'd get on Flat Earth, but of course he can't. He's got too many subscribers. He'd look just completely insane, like he was on a whole different set of meds. Not that he's on meds right now. But the point was he came on and said that anyone's talking about toilets flushing in opposite directions and sinks going in opposite directions, he can't see where that argument's coming from because he did it in a massive simultaneous southern hemisphere, northern hemisphere thing, and he didn't see it. Anyway, I respect the flat Earth theory, and I used to think the Earth was hollow. Could the Earth be flat and hollow? Yes, it could be flat and hollow. I was a hollow Earth guy. That's how I got into this. I was looking into hollow Earth, stumbled across Admiral Richard E. Byrd, and then followed that set of breadcrumbs to a completely different thing, which eventually led me to flat Earth. So yes, could absolutely be hollow. Now, not hollow like a hollow sphere, like a very small Dyson sphere, which is, I know, is a whole other thing. But could it be a hollow sphere? No. I'm saying that because our civilization lives in a very, very narrow band of elevation. Remember, 95% of all our civilization lives from sea level to about 5,000 feet. Altitude sickness kicks in at about 7,000 feet. Then you wouldn't need much of a subterranean area at all. Even if subterranean area was 10 miles high, that'd be plenty comfortable. If it was 100 miles high, then you're talking about something that could be built into a place like this. We could be in a subterranean thing because we don't know what's outside of the dome. Well, again, there's some flat earthers that don't believe in the dome. Fine, you don't have to believe in the dome. But I do. And so I'm saying that what's outside the dome, who knows? It could Rob Skiba's model that it's a footstool and that there's water. That's the final safeguard, that there's water outside of this thing in case we were dumb enough or smart enough to break through it. Let's see here. Is it possible the Earth is flat, but it's also rotating like a coin that spins on a tabletop? I don't think so, because if that was the case, we would run into certain we'd find G-force variances on the outside. Because remember, when you're talking about you shouldn't use a coin, you should use a merry-go-round. A merry-go-round, the G-forces get stronger as you get closer to the edge. Merry-go-round, so you would feel that, and we don't see any of that here, and that would only happen in the southern hemisphere. On top of that, if that was happening here. And Peanut Gallery says, we would fly off. No, we would fly off. Got it. Let's see. Again, I can't think of anything that goes against your theory, and I have all the respect. So if you could answer me, I would appreciate it. I'm not trying to say you are wrong. Well, he's very polite. Also, how come we have a cold North Pole? Oh, no. Bigger question would be why the South Pole doesn't really melt. If the sun heats the area where there is land, the North Pole would not get sunlight, and maybe that is why the area is cold. Yeah, it's cold, but there's still big chunks of it that have water during the really sunny months. I like the example of the salt flats in Arizona, that if the Earth were round, you would not see the mountains 80 miles away. Theory that a ship disappears from the bottom up. In theory, a laser would shine on a mirror over the ocean a few hundred miles away and hit the other mirror and prove the Earth is flat. And he gives his phone number. I am in Montreal, Canada. Yeah, it's a nice theory, except that Jaron was the first one to prove that, I should have seen this coming, that common lasers for civilian markets disperse fairly quickly. In fact, I think it's 2 feet per mile. So the beam starts spreading really, really fast. And you need a very, very sophisticated laser with a repeater on it and a beam condenser. And we don't have access to that. Plus, if you're firing it over 100, several hundred miles away, it'd be kind of tricky because remember, our atmosphere is really just a shallow liquid. It's 5 parts nitrogen to 1 part oxygen, so it's kind of a soup in that regards. So no, you're not going to be able to fire a laser 100 miles away. If the Antarctic is around the Earth, how far does it go, and what is there? The Garden of Eden. Admiral Byrd talked about riches like coal. So if it is true and there is vegetation, it is warm. What is heating the land that he saw? We have only one sun. Thanks, Avery. All good questions. There seems to be some confusion whether when Admiral Byrd was talking about, because remember, the 1926 story was when he went to the North Pole, that he flew inside some opening and found some journey to the center of the Earth type scenario. But he never went back to the North Pole. And so some people are kind of, I think, blending that story with the South Pole. Yes, he did say there was a land beyond the South Pole that was bigger than the United States. I don't remember him mentioning anything about it being sunny and full of vegetation, all this other stuff. Yes, he did say that Antarctica was once tropical, and therefore there would be oil, but he didn't really talk about the devil doesn't have to get you to worship him or even believe in him in order to get your soul. He just has to make you doubt your creator's existence. And the spherical ball lie is the greatest lie ever told. That was all caps. Just think how many people believe that we are all just a random chance accident and that there is no creator, and how insignificant that makes us. If that doesn't make people wonder about the motive of the whole ball earth deception, I just don't know what to think about humans anymore. Thanks for your efforts, Mark. I just hope it's not too late. Marty, flat out. Thanks, Marty. That's awesome. Can we do one more before the break? 1 second here. That's from Peanut Gallery. Oh, yeah, Peanut Gallery mentioned something. Hang on. He said, recommend this Vsauce video on gyros. Vsauce did a video called Spinning. It's on the Vsauce channel. Normally, I don't recommend it, but, I trust Peanut Gallery for the most part. Can we get one more in before we sign off for the night? I think we can. I'm just looking for one that's about the right size. Yeah, this one's pretty good. This one's from Tershama. How does us having a flat Earth affect us on this planet? I'm one of those people who believes in the possibility of all things. I've always been the type of person who is in search of the truth. However, I just don't care so much anymore. So why care? I have learned how to give the Christian answer to everything because with any answers, it's always ambiguous. And my answer is always, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I try to trust science too. And he wrote something, 7 days to finding God, heal with a plan. And actually, you should care, and the reason is, heck, you should know more than most people, is that the flat Earth brings people back to spirituality. If this place was built, that means there was a creator. And if it was created, then there's a good chance that somebody's been watching us or looking over our shoulder or keeping us relatively safe for a long time. Now, are they judging us? I don't know, but are you going to take that chance? Are you going to keep doing the things you're doing now if you know for a fact that there's a bigger parent looking over your shoulder? Maybe not hovering over them, but definitely on the couch with a newspaper peering over the top every once in a while to make sure you're not burning it down. So I'm not going to do anything malicious to anyone ever again. Does that mean you're not going to defend yourself? Of course not. But going out of my way to hurt somebody? No. So bring on the trolls. I encourage it because there's all sorts of karma backlash. Anyway, guys, 10 Commandments, I don't have them memorized. I just try to tell people, look, treat others better than you treat yourself. Hey, you know what? We'll see you. Same flat time, same flat channel.
What is this? Is that a model of the flat geocentric Earth? Nice.
I had to make a new one. What are you doing?